The first paragraph on page 3 of your lease states that we will terminate the lease if you are active duty military and provide us a copy of your orders and the written 30-day notice. Property care and maintenance section lists in item 1 who is responsible for exterior yard maintenance and states that it must be done a minimum of twice a month. Please remember that yard maintenance does include mowing, edging, watering, and leaf raking. Item 2 states who is responsible to change the furnace filter and how often this must be done. 3 says there is at least one smoke detector in the home and it is operational. It is your responsibility to check the battery weekly and to replace it as needed. Item 4 says you will keep the property clean and sanitary and will not deface walls, woodwork, or any part of the property. Item 5 requires you to report any accidents, injuries, or needed repairs. Item 6 requires you to pay for service calls that are unnecessary, are caused by you, or due to your failure to keep appointments. Item 7 says you are responsible for carpet cleaning. 8 says you will pay to light all pilots except when caused by equipment failure. Item 9 states that plumbing is designed for flushing of human waste and toilet paper only. It is never okay to flush tampons, condoms, bars of soap, kids' socks, baby wipes, tennis balls, cell phones, or those little Matchbox cars that my nephew likes to flush. If you have a plumbing problem, call us. If the plumber finds that you caused the problem, then you will be billed. Item 10 says that you will work to ensure that water lines do not freeze. Item 11 says that you will prevent damage from rain or other water. Item 12 says you will repair damage from acts of vandalism or forced entry. Item 13 says that pest control is your responsibility unless you tell us of the need within the first 30 days of occupancy. 14 states whether or not you are allowed to smoke inside the home, and of course that would be legal substances only. Item 15 says that we will provide maintenance for only those items checked. All others are left for your use, and if they quit working, you may either get them repaired or replace them at your expense. Under Rules and Regulations, Item 1 says that we have the right to enter the property during any reasonable time to inspect, repair or replace, or show the property to prospective purchasers. We will, of course, attempt to give you 24 hours advance notice unless it's an emergency. Item 2 states whether satellite dishes are allowed on the property along with where and how they must be mounted. Item 3 gives you permission to install a security system at your expense. However, you must give us an access code. Item 4 states that you may not add to, alter, or change the property without any written permission, and any improvements allowed do become part of the property and must be left when you vacate. Without written permission, you will be required to return the property to its original condition. Item 5 says that we may restrict items allowed in windows, balconies, hallways, stairwells, and yards of duplexes or apartment buildings. Item 6 says that your actions must not increase the owner's or our liability. This would include, for example, bringing a 4-foot deep swimming pool or trampoline onto the property. Either would require you to provide liability insurance listing Fletcher Property Management and the property owner as additional insured. Item 7 strictly prohibits the use of controlled substances, and this does include alcohol and prescription drugs, which would either disturb the peace and quiet enjoyment of your neighbors or that would endanger the health, safety, or well-being of you, your family, or your neighbors. Item 8 says that you will not be a nuisance to those neighbors. Item 9 prohibits any and all illegal drug activity on the property. Item 10 says there is a $25 charge for service of any notice of noncompliance. 11 reminds you that there is no justification for lack of prompt rental payments, even when due to defects and/or inoperative conditions on the property. Item 12 prohibits all water-filled furniture without adequate insurance to cover potential damages, and Item 13 says that you are prohibited from burning incense except in a proper incense burner. Pause the presentation and review before each adult initials at the bottom of the page. Press play when you are ready to continue. At any time, you can press menu to restart any particular section.